Okay, what you are listening right now is my own real voice, but this one
is a clone, not a real one, but it sounds surprisingly close to the original. And the best part? This clone was made in minutes using a free and open source AI model, Qwen3 TTS.
That's right. So in this video, I'm going to show you the easiest way you can install this AI model locally on your computer. So you'd have a voice cloning capability directly on your device. It is quite similar to ElevenLabs, but it is offline and private. Now, usually, if you want to have this AI model, the Qwen3 TTS, on your computer, you need to use a tool like ComfyUI, which is very popular and very powerful. But unfortunately, this tool is just too powerful for most people. It is so difficult to use, especially if you're not quite tech savvy. But fortunately, there is an even better and simpler way to run Qwen3 TTS without the complexity of ComfyUI. So the tool that I recommend is called Stability Matrix. You can open Google and search for Stability Matrix. That's the name of the tool. Sorry about that. So basically here, you can open the search result on GitHub. And basically, this is known as Package Manager. This is a tool that we can use to install lots of AI models or AI interfaces. You can use this tool for generating images, videos, audios, etc. So basically here you can scroll down a bit and you can download the file or the set of file that is suitable for your computer. It could be for Windows, Linux, or even macOS. And after that, you can open the setup file. So let me just open that setup file on my computer. And you'll see an onboarding process that look like this. Welcome to Stability Matrix. Now, you'll see this option to enable the portable mode, and I personally prefer to enable this one because it will make things to be easier and more organized. So basically, everything will be stored within the same folder or directory of the setup file. Now, click Continue. And you have the option to share or not share the telemetry data. I'm going to click this button. And I'll just skip this first time setup. So basically, we want to install a package called Qwen3GP. So Qwen3GP is very popular. This is the official GitHub page. It is very popular. But again, we are not going to install Qwen3GP using the traditional method because we want to use Stability Matrix to install basically everything. But basically with Qwen3GP, we can run lots of AI models like the Hunyuan video, Flux, Qwen, Z-Image, Longcat, etc. And of course later we can install the Qwen3 TTS to clone audio or to clone voice. Now let's go back to Stability Matrix and you can click Add Package. Let's scroll down a bit and click on Qwen3GP, this one. So you can open it and you can click the install button. So after that, it will start downloading lots of files. It will download the runtime, the libraries, the actually not yet the models, but basically it will download lots of things to run this interface. But after that, when it is done, I guess I'm going to just open the finished one. You'll see something that looks like this. You can navigate to the packages and you can run Qwen3GP. Just click the launch button. And it says launching Qwen3GP, please wait while the UI initializes. So just wait. It's basically going to set up a sort of local server that we can open via a browser. And then later we can play around with the Qwen3 TTS to clone audio or to clone voice. Now just wait for a bit because it might take quite a while. And just make sure that you have a GPU with at least 6 GB of video memory. That's the recommendation, but I actually checked that on Task Manager and it is seemingly only using like 3 to 4 GB of video memory. So perhaps, again, perhaps I cannot really guarantee, but perhaps you have the option to run the model even though your computer only has perhaps 4 GB of video memory. But anyway, so this is the local URL that you can open via a browser. Let me just open my browser again and let me just click this. So it looks like this. I guess I'm going to open a new tab. And very good. Okay, now it is in the dark mode, but it's the same thing basically. Okay, so this is the interface. Now, when you are launching this for the first time, you won't get the Qwen3 image with the Qwen3 model immediately. You have to download the model first, and to do that, usually you have to select the TTS option, and then you can select the Qwen3 base. That's the exact model that you can use to clone audio. There is Qwen3 custom voice and voice design, but these two are different. If we want to clone voice, then use the Qwen3 base, this one. And basically the model will be downloaded automatically when we try to generate an audio or voice, clone a voice. Okay, I guess I'm going to start using this app. So here the UI is kind of complicated because Qwen3 is designed to do everything. It is designed for creating images, videos, creating audios, etc. That's why the interface is not exactly designed by some expert, but that's okay. At least it is very much usable. So here I'm going to provide a sample, which is my own voice. I'm going to click this record button, and I guess I'm going to do some recording. Okay, so this is my voice. I'm just doing a recording to provide some sample for AI to replicate, and then later I'm going to insert an audio. Well, actually not audio. I will insert text that will be converted into an audio file or a voice clone. Okay, let me just listen perhaps the first 5 seconds of that recording. Okay, so this is my voice. I'm just doing a record. Okay, it does work now. After that, I'm going to insert this text as an example. But this is where you can write the text that will be converted into speech. This one. And after that, if the audio in the sample contains some background noise or music, you can click this option, but that is optional. And down here, okay, there is the max duration, which is something that I guess I will explain a bit later, but for now I'll just use the 30 seconds for the setting. And down here you can open the advanced mode, but honestly I don't really understand this. It's just not very intuitive, and again this tool is designed for creating audio, videos, images. That's why there are some settings that are not very common to be found for audio generation. But anyway, I'm not going to touch any of that. I'll just use the basic setting or the default setting. Okay, so after that, after we have provided the audio sample and also the text that will be converted into the speech, you can just click this generate button. Okay, so now if you are doing this for the first time, it would download the model to generate the audio. Now let's talk about the max duration option. This one is a bit confusing, honestly, because it is not exactly intuitive. So basically, this will dictate the duration of the audio file later. So if let's say let's assume that this audio will be about 20 seconds. Now right now it says that the max duration is 30 seconds, which means it is totally safe. But if I set the duration to be 10 seconds, then only half of this text will be turned into speech. So this one should be automatic, but somehow we have to set it manually. So that's why you have to be maybe giving more seconds to this setting. Again, it's just not something that we have to deal with, but in this case we have to. So just add maybe 30 seconds or 1 minute depending on the length of the text right here. But do not add to the maximum, because it will make the process to be way longer than unnecessary. Because even though let's say you have the audio that is exactly 20 seconds, but you set the setting here to be 200 seconds, then it will process all the 200 seconds, even though the actual audio is only 20 seconds. That's why this setting is, well, I'm hoping that they're going to improve this in the future. But anyway, this is something that you need to know about. Okay, anyway, finally it is done. So this is the result. I'm going to click this play button and let's hear it.
The morning sun cast golden rays across the misty valley where ancient oak trees stood like silent guardians of forgotten stories. Children's laughter echoed through the winding paths as they chased butterflies among wildflowers. In the distance, a church bell rang softly, marking the passage of time with its gentle, rhythmic chimes.
Okay, I would say that's quite decent. It is, well, a bit softer, but it is very close to my own voice. Now, if you don't like it, you can always click the generate button again. You can also download the file to your computer by clicking this button. And also, you can select multiple different languages. There's the option for English, Chinese, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Portuguese, Russian, and Spanish. So there are plenty of languages being supported by this AI model. So yeah, I guess that's basically it. And when you're done using this tool to clone voice, you can stop the server. You can open the tool again and click the stop button. And after that, it's no longer being used on your device. But of course, you can always launch the app again if you want to use it. But yeah, that's basically how you can install the Qwen3 TTS model locally on your computer without the complexity of ComfyUI, because we are using stability metrics. So I hope you find this video to be useful. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Have a great day.